Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to put together a business requirements document. And I think it's a good idea to actually begin with the end in mind. So what I would like to do now is walk you through the basic anatomy of a business requirements document to give you an overview of what you should be aiming for in the course of writing your business requirements document. And this will provide some context for the lectures that follow and also help as you and your teammates put your business requirements document together. It's important to understand, once again, the audience for your business requirements document. The people that are going to be reading this document are the actual people on the development team that are going to do the work. They need the context as well as the details of what you're looking for. And remember, when we're talking about the development team, it's not just the software developers or the hardware designers or the people that are the system administrators. It's also going to be members of key business functions where they're going to have to actually develop processes that will support your strategic initiative. It's likely that the bosses of all these various organizations reviewed your business case and in fact were part of the approval team. So you can assume that there's some at least minimal knowledge that this is an important initiative and some knowledge of what your strategic initiative might be. The best case is they may have even read your business case, and let's hope that's the case, but don't assume that. As with all documents, we're going to begin with the executive summary, and like all executive summaries, it's something that while it comes first in the document, you write it last. And in the executive summary, you want to describe the strategic initiative, but you want to describe it in such a way that it's relevant to the people who are actually going to do the work. So you want to summarize the key points of your business requirements document within this description of your strategic initiative. And it's important to note that you want to state your expectations. What are your expectations for this particular strategic initiative? And what are the expectations in terms of the deliverables? And what are you going to expect from the development team? And one of the most important things that they're going to be looking for is the timeline. They're going to want to know when certain things are going to need to be done. You can do this simply with a diagram, such as the one here below. I think it's important to note throughout the business requirements document, the simpler you make your language and the more diagrams and illustrations you use, the better. The next section is the business objective section. Important to note, if you want to get a better result, it's important for those who are doing the work to know why they're doing the work, not just what you expect from them. That it's more than just simply listing out the task. In your business requirements document, you want to actually explain to the development team why this is an important project and how it fits into the overall organization. The business objective section contains key points from the business case. You want to actually describe the strategic fit, and here once again you want to answer the question, why is this the right project and why now is the right time to actually do this project? You also want to describe how your customers will benefit. What customer benefits did you articulate in the business case that you can now put into this section? And then you also want to describe how the organization will benefit. Most specifically, you want to describe that in terms of the strategic value that you're going to generate, and the best reflection of that is the return on investment for this particular initiative. The next section is a description of the customer segments. Here you simply describe who are the users. But you also need to describe what differentiates each customer segment from the other. You need to describe what the individual jobs to be done for each segment will be. And we're going to talk more about the concept of jobs to be done in an upcoming lecture. But let's do an example. Let's say that you're developing a medical information website and one of your segments are people under the age of 30, and they have a specific need and a specific objective for coming to your website that would be different from another group who would be using your website, and that would be families. Another segment very well might be people that are retired. They may have a totally different set of reasons for coming to your website that supports health and health insurance information. So once again, who are your users, what differentiates each segment, and what is their specific job to be done. And this is a pretty brief section in which you want to describe those various customer segments in which your strategic initiative will support. Next, what you want to do is provide a discussion of the customer experience. And here you want to provide an overview of how each customer segment will interact with your strategic initiative. An easy way to present this information might be a table in which you have each segment listed, and for each segment you want to provide a high-level description of the customer experience with your strategic initiative. And then what you want to do is, for each segment, describe how that segment will evaluate whether or not your particular strategic initiative met their expectations. And here's where you want to talk about the QoS, the quality of service types of things. Was the website, in this particular case, easy to use? Was it reliable? The non-functional requirements that you want to specifically identify. And what you want to do is put yourself in the customer's shoes, look at your strategic initiative from their viewpoint, and try to determine how they might determine whether or not your strategic initiative is worth their investment of both time and money. Last section of your business requirements document are the use cases. And this will be the longest and most detailed section of your business requirements document. Here you want to identify specific user interactions. And we are going to borrow a technique from the Agile methodology, and we're going to start each use case description with a simple sentence. And that sentence will take the following format. As a, and you would want to insert the user role. I want, and here you would insert a specific feature in order to, and here you would identify the specific benefit that the user received. So let's walk through a couple of examples. We'll use the segments that we've identified earlier, and the first one would be, as an adult under 30 years old, I want specific nutritional information in order to prevent the early onset of type 2 diabetes. For our next segment of families, as a parent of a young child, I want vaccination information in order to provide a specific certificate that my child's school requires in order to document vaccinations. And then for our last segment, it might go something like this. As a retiree, I want cost and expense information in order to properly manage my Medicare health benefit. So you can see we will begin each use case with this specific sentence, but then we will from provide additional detail. But again, more on that in an upcoming lecture. What I want to do now is I want to describe some hints for an effective business case document. First of all, you want to use simple and direct language. Keep your sentences short. It's something that you should do anyway. And of course, you want to use the active voice and all the other good grammatical and syntactical things that we've talked about throughout the course. You would also want to include lots of pictures and diagrams. Many times it is easier to show what you're looking for than to tell someone what you are looking for. It's always a good idea to use mock-ups and illustrations to make your story easier to understand on the part of the development team. You want to make yourself available. You want to not simply just drop off your business requirements document, but you want to walk the development team through it. And you want to do this so that you can emphasize certain points and that you can be there to actually answer questions and expand upon anything that you might need to in order for your development team to understand. And it's important that you know that they understand exactly what you're looking for in terms of what your strategic initiative will deliver. And you also want to create a question and answer process. It's likely that your document's not going to answer all the questions that the development team is going to have. It's good that you need to be able to create a process by which you can receive their questions and answer them in a timely manner. And then you have to understand that this is a living document. You need to work with the development team because there might be things that you didn't think of, particularly at a detail level, that may actually make your strategic initiative better. And you also might have to make compromises with respect to what you want in order to meet other deliverables such as the timeline or expense budget. So you have to understand that there's always some give and take in the whole business requirements process. When you do make those changes, that you in fact revise your business requirements document so that it matches truly what you're going to end up with. Even though the development team will be doing the work for you in order to make your strategic initiative come alive, you're part of a team. And you need to work with them on a daily basis in order to get the best result possible. So there is a quick overview of what a business requirement document would look like, and we'll go into much more detail in terms of how to create those various sections in the following lectures.